Hello friends, welcome to www.bispsolutions.com. Today we will see setting up security in data management. So, setting up security in Oracle data management involves managing who has access to certain data, tasks, or areas within the application. Security in data management typically focuses on controlling user access, defining the rules, and determining what each user can view or modify. So, to start this topic, we must first understand the various predefined user types in PBCS. So predefined user types refer to the roles or access levels that are automatically available to manage and control user permissions across different EPM modules like planning, financial consolidation, data management, etc. These rules ensure that users have access to the necessary features without manual role configuration. First, you can see it is the service administrator. So this is the highest level of access in the system. It has the capabilities of full access to all the modules and features, including setup and configuration. Service administrator can manage users and roles, perform administrative tasks, manage data, create reports, and configure application settings. It is typically assigned to system administrators who need to manage the entire application. Next, we have power user. So this is more advanced user access with more control than standard users, but less than the service administrator. Power user can create and manage data load rules, mappings, forms, and reports. Can run processes such as calculations and consolidations. Although they have limited access to the configuration settings. So generally, finance managers or senior users responsible for handling complex tasks such as managing data integration or overseeing planning and budgeting processes, they are basically the power users. Next, here we have the user. So this is standard user access for day-to-day tasks. A user can enter data, execute business processes, and generate reports. User can view and interact with forms, dashboards, and reports. But a user cannot configure or create load rules, mappings, or any administrative task. So the general users who participate in planning, forecasting, reporting, those are basically given this role. Lastly, we have viewer. So viewer has only read-only access. Viewer can view reports, forms, dashboards, and data, but it cannot make any changes or perform any task. So there is no access to data entry or process the execution. This is typically assigned to stakeholders or management who need visibility into reports and data, but they do not participate in data input or processing. So we were talking about data management security. It operates using the roles and permissions that control access to different functions within the application. So if we talk about service administrator here, so service administrator will have full access to all data management functionality, including setup and configurations. Then power user can manage data load rules, import formats, mappings, and data load processes. Next is user. User can perform data loads and view results, but he cannot modify data load rules or any configurations. Lastly, viewer can only view data and logs. He does not have any rights, any role to perform any data loads or any sort of changes. So I'll provide you a simple analogy here to explain security setup in data management using the case of a library as a scenario. So imagine that you are the manager of a large library that has different types of materials, that is books, rare manuscripts, research papers, etc. And then you need to control who has access to what. You also have to track what happens with these materials. So in this example, the librarian is a service administrator who has full control over the library. You can manage all sections, decide which material to buy, organize the shelves, and set up the borrowing rules. Next, we have assistant librarians. So they can be termed as power users. They can manage book loans, issue new memberships, and organize the materials in the library. But then they don't have the full control. Still, they can do most of the tasks, but they do not have that much control as a service administrator has, as a librarian has. Next, we can assume the readers. They will be considered as users. They are the regular visitors to the library. They can borrow books and use the reading rooms, but then they cannot change the rules of the library or access restricted sections. Finally, guests. They can be termed as viewers. These are one-time visitors who can only browse through the books, but they cannot borrow anything or make changes to the setup. So just like in data management, different people, or you may say users, in the library have varying levels of access based on their roles. Now let's go to the application, and Here I will show you the setting up the security. I have logged in as the administrator. We'll click the navigator and go to data management. Under the setup tab, you will find security settings. So here you see there is role level security and location security. So in the role level security, this controls access to components of the user interface that each user can access. So data management security enables service administrators and power users to customize user access to user interface functions using the concept of roles. Roles are basically permissions, that grant user access to functions. In data management, default roles are assigned to functions that aggregate and that aggregate to the specific requirements. Now, after the functions are assigned to a role, the corresponding role is mapped to user when provisioning users in application management. So in the illustration, in the analogy I was telling you about the role security. So the data load rules are like let's suppose in the analogy of the library, they are like book borrowing rules in the library. Some staff members have the authority to change these rules, while others can only follow them. Like, for example, the assistant librarian can decide which books can be borrowed and which cannot, while a reader can only follow the borrowing rules but it cannot change them. So similarly, in data management, only users with higher level roles like power users can modify data load rules, while others can only use them. So here if we see the role, there are two roles provided: create integration and run integration. So if here the role is assigned as create integration, then the user can create data management metadata and data load rules. While if the role provided here is run integration, then the user runs data management data rules and fills out runtime parameters. It can also view transaction logs. Now here you can see the next is location security. So user access to location is defined by location security, and here we define the user groups to create for each location. So if when a location is created or updated, then various groups can be created, and that can be defined in this system setting for that particular location. So whatever group is assigned to a particular location, that group is will be able to perform all the data management tasks in that particular location. So here I am like choosing the role as create integration, and I can here select the groups. Let's suppose process monitor reports. So this way I can here provide the role security. Before doing this, here I have to go to access control and provide that particular user as this role. So we will do this. We will go to the application here, and we're going to create two users. One who will be given the role of create integration, and the another one I'll be providing the role as run integration. So here in the application, we'll go to tools and we'll open access control card, and we'll create two users. So under manage users, we'll create two new users. So here I've already created user 1. So let's go and edit the roles over here. Once I've filled all these credentials over here, the name and the password, then I will be provided here the user type. I have to select here the user type. You can see the various user types provided: IT planner, marketing planner, power user, project manager. So here I've selected as the service administrator role, and I will save this. Now we'll go to the application roles, and here I will provide the role to this user. So see here I have the role of data integration run, data integration drill through, and data integration create. So user 1, I will give him the role of data integration create. Then I will create the second user. We'll give the application role to user 2 I have just created. Now user 1 I have provided data integration create. Now I'll provide data integration run. So we have created two different users with two different roles I have assigned to them. Now let's log in as user 1. We'll go to data management. Now user 1 was assigned the role of creating data integration. So here you can see the user 1 will of course go into the data exchange, create the source system over there, target application, and here you can see he has the access. If I click on add, he can create import format over here. So let us create one with the name as user 1 itself, so that it is easily identifiable here. And here we can select a flat file. I'm not loading data right now. I'm just for the sake of demo, I am creating this import format so we can see whether the user 1 who has I have just given the role of just creating the integration, what happens after the role gets assigned. Now I've created the import format. I've already created the location. Now here I'm providing the data load mapping. So here I've provided mappings for the 3 dimensions. Okay, now let's go to the data load rule. So here I'm clicking on add. So this is user 1, you can see, and even like if I create a DLR over here, user 1 does not have the right to execute it. You can see this is not visible over here, this is not highlighted. So let's create the rule, but this user 1 who only has the role of creating integration, he will not get the right to execute the rule. So I'll name it as user 1 itself. I'll attach the import format. And I will save this. So I'll attach the file over here, and then the further process of execution will be done by the user 2. So we'll close this. And now let's log in as user 2. Now we'll go to data management. I have logged in as user 2, who we have given the role as data integration run. So for running the data integration rule we have given. So here in the workflow, user 2 will go to the data load rule, and here see the location was of user 1, fine. Now user 2 will have the right to once the file gets loaded over here, you will have the right to execute it. So this is the basic difference between create integration and run integration rules provided under this security settings. Now here I have opened the application in the browser, and I have logged in as administrator. We'll go to setup, and we'll see the second type of security settings over here, which is location security. So this is disabled, and I will here click on OK and enable this feature. So now I can add the location security here. Here I have to provide the security settings details, some prefix and a suffix, which will be added to this location, not this particularly, to whatever location we are assigning. So let's make it DM here, prefix, and suffix I will make it as group, and I will save this. So now here you can see this has been created. DM underscore whatever location we decide we will choose, and then underscore group. By adding prefix and suffix, that particular location stands out, so that you can identify that location and you can assign it to the user group, or you can assign it to the groups. Then here I have maintained user group. You can see once I click it, you will get this message that user groups and roles successfully created for all locations. Now here we are back to the application, and under the tools cluster we'll go to access control. So here you can see this is the prefix DM I had given, and suffix was group. So we have created one location as user 1, another location was there as vision. So for these two locations we have created this location security. Now let us edit this and assign some group or some users. So these are the group name coming. If I select here project manager, so only the project manager will have access for all the locations under this DM underscore user 1 underscore group. So from here you can select the groups and assign it to the location we have selected, and that particular location will get the security, and only those list of groups that we have selected will be having access to run integration on those particular location. So see, sales planner west I am assigning over here, and I will save this. So this is how the security settings work in PBCS by managing roles, location access, and all the rules. One can ensure that the right people can have access to the right location. So this is done basically to protect and control data access and operations. So that's it for today. If you have any queries, you may write to us at www.bispsolutions.com. Thank you.